It's another battle for the Aggies, and the KSL Sports Zone has it covered. The Aggies return home to Logan for a battle against the Nevada Wolfpack. Your home for all the play-by-play coverage of Aggie football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports
Zone. Who's calling? Who's talking to me right now? I love it. It's our producer Alex Napolis' birthday. Everybody wish him a happy B-Day. But he just got done with his long diatribe of how we have to do our jobs. And I said, "Who is this?" He goes, "It's Alex Napolis." Napolis here. I said, "I know." He got it. Napolis, a job we wouldn't be able to do it without you, buddy. So
Napolis, I'm sorry you have to put up with us each and every day.
I guess
just
you guys
love when we're on
can make fun of me a little bit for my birthday. It's fine.
It's good. It's good. And when we're not in the studio,
you have to babysit the clown show that we are.
When we're not in the studio, it's even harder. Like, because we're out here, nobody's wrangling us.
There's no adult in the room.
So yeah, Napolis has to get on the headset and try to wrangle us that way, and it's just impossible. I apologize, but happy birthday to Alex Napolis, our producer. Everybody, throw him a shout out. We're starting a GoFundMe to get him going, so you can head out to. I don't know. Where do you want to go? You want to go to Fat Cats for your birthday, Napolis? What do you want to do?
Fat Cats would be nice.
Do they still have those around, by the way?
Cosmic bowling at
Fat Cats.
Yeah, there's one in Bluffdale, dude.
All right, fine. All right.
Let's go roll the rock.
All right, here's what we got, by the way. You can nominate the U Sports volunteer that you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week program. The way you do it is you just go to KSLSports.com/contest. Nominate that awesome person who is helping kids be better, not just athletes, but enjoy the game and also to be great sportsmen. And this week's winner is Jessica Thorne, who was nominated by Ashley Van Osdal. Jessica deserves to win the Hercules Hero of the Week because she stepped in when nobody else would volunteer. We've seen that before, right? We need coaches. So Jessica steps up. She's very good with all the boys. She teaches them all the different positions and is very patient, but she's also very tough. She's the winner this week of our Hercules Hero of the Week program. Jessica Thorne, congratulations. And Ashley, thank you for your nomination. Jessica gets a prize from Beehive Meals, $200 to Beehive Meals, and then also a $100 gift card from the folks at Hercules First Federal Credit Union. All a small token of our appreciation for you being the Hercules Hero of the Week.
The creamy chicken is in the mail.
You made it sound like you made it and sent it.
I prepared the meal.
Yeah.
To save you time and money.
Yeah, professionals did it, okay?
Yeah.
So congrats.
Not
there
me.
you go. Joining us on the program right now, Jarret Johnson on the show here with us. He covers the Texas Tech Red Raiders for Inside the Red Raiders. Jarret, thanks for being on the program. Thanks for welcoming the Cougars to Lubbock this weekend, too, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Yeah, it's been an amazing week, and I just want to say happy birthday, Alex. That's awesome. Y'all mentioned the GoFundMe. I just really want to tip the cap to BYU fans out there. And
isn't that an awesome story? I love hearing this story.
It is a great story. It is, so many things are beyond sports. Look, sports are important. It's what we're going to ultimately talk about. I get it, but this kind of thing is just so neat. And for those who don't know, Ivan Ortiz is the team barber who comes to the facility once a week. He's been the barber to a lot of Tech players for a while now. And his wife was in a car accident. She was actually struck by a drunk driver. And, And so a lot of the people, in and around the program asked, to Venmo him some money. And but then it took on a life of its own, and BYU fans chipped in. And last I saw, it was over $150,000.
Wow!
And yeah. And for those who don't know, I mean, those hospital bills, they rack up, and a lot of barbers and hairstylists, they don't necessarily. I don't know his specific, situation. But, they don't have a lot of insurance, necessarily from a state job or whatever. So what a great story this is. And I just want to tell BYU fans out there that, Texas Tech fans are going to welcome you with open arms. And we're really excited, everybody out here in Lubbock, for a great football game Saturday.
Yeah, we were actually talking about this story before. I was watching the video on this thing, and it was just touching because, well, on the one hand too, knowing this community and knowing how fans show up in moments like this is the stuff where you go, this is why we do it, right? And so I think it's great because it's totally Utah is one of the most charitable states in the entire country, and people love to be able to chip in when they can, and so. It's the kind of stuff, too, that I think establishes, like, conference relationships. It's the kind of stuff that you want going forward. And, like, Kalani Sitake and Joey McGuire, they know each other. They see each other at a lot of these coaching events. There's not a week that goes by that people don't praise, Kalani Sitake. And Kalani did the same thing for Joey McGuire this week because they have a lot of mutual respect. And it's not just because these programs are good, but dang, they're good this year. I mean, this is the clash of the Titans right now in the conference. When you saw the rankings come out, did you feel like that they were about right for the college football playoff rankings this first round? Did you feel like it was maybe a little too high for BYU, a little too low for Texas Tech, or what did you think when you saw the first round come out?
No, I wouldn't say it's too high for BYU. I mean, they're undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, to me, I'm an end result kind of person. They're undefeated. They should be, if anything, I want to say this right, I think they should be rated higher. If you're undefeated and playing big boy football, I don't care as much as I guess maybe the committee does, that they're closer scores, or the fact that BYU has had to come from behind in several of these recent games. They've won. They've beaten Utah. I saw what Utah is about. I saw some of the other games, the way that BYU was able to come back. Again, end result, I think they probably should have been higher. Texas Tech, we'll see after this week. They did have that one loss to Arizona State. I'm not big on excuses. I think Arizona State deserved that win in a lot of ways. It is true that the backup quarterback was making his first regular season start, and they lost a close one against the defending champs. I think we need to say that. But, no, I think it's about right. They're both in the mix. I think both schools and fan bases would probably be happy just getting in the tournament, as we call it, the playoffs, and going to battle and going in, get into the fight and seeing what they could do. But if anything, with BYU, again, I think they should probably be higher.
BYU has a great tradition and a great history, but they've never played in a game between two top 10 teams. This is a first for BYU. And because of that, you could make an argument that this is the biggest game, most important game in BYU football history. How important is this game in the whole, in the as far as history goes, and importance for Texas Tech?
Yeah, first off, that was shocking to me because, I associate BYU with a lot of success and things. I can't believe that's the fact, but
right.
That's a cool note. That's a great question. Most people will tell you, and this is kind of where I'm at. It's the biggest game since 2008 when Tech played UT here, and last time game day was here and all that. But my senior writer is a man named Joe Yeager. He's been covering Texas Tech sports for 21 years. He's a Lubbock native, been following Texas Tech since the 70s. And he said earlier this week, it's the biggest game since 1976 when Tech played SMU for the Southwest Conference Championship in Lubbock. So
wow.
There you go. Almost 50 years.
When you see this type of a matchup and you see, BYU kind of being the newcomer to the league, just being their third year in the conference, and last year they had a breakout year, and then they've been able to follow it up with similar success this year. Are you surprised with what they've been able to do just in the past two seasons after only being in the conference for the last three?
Folks who know me, before I say this, know that I try and speak what I believe to be the truth. But no, I'm not surprised. BYU was the school I was the most excited about. I felt like it was the biggest brand that's been added in terms of national brand. And I know how I've been told how passionate the fans are. And then, honestly, BYU and Texas Tech, when you look at their basketball teams are both in the top 10 as well. I mean, a lot of people really care about these two schools, these two athletic programs. They've invested heavily in these programs. So really, BYU and Texas Tech remind me a lot of each other. And even the matchup on the field Saturday, the two teams kind of remind me of each other. Though maybe they've spent the money in different ways, they both have made, significant investments, put that money apparently in the right people's hands, and now you're seeing the success for both programs. And no, I'm not excited that BYU is having the success it is, given all that.
We've already seen Texas Tech up close because Utah played them earlier in the year, and we were just blown away at how dominant Texas Tech was on the line of scrimmage, how aggressive they are defensively, all the weapons they have offensively. It just looked like a complete team. So I was a little shocked that Arizona State got them, despite the fact that Arizona State was fairly healthy at that moment and were the defending champs. What did Arizona State do that allowed them to beat Texas Tech? What was the key to that victory for Arizona State?
I'm glad you asked me that, because I want to make sure and give Arizona State the credit that they deserve. They were the more excited team to play that day, which was shocking to me. That was that has not been a problem with this team before or since. It was a big wake-up call. It's one of the reasons I'm not as nervous about all the attention this game and that Tech's getting right now, because that wake-up call occurred on the road in Tempe. In that, Tech was physical, but they got out-physicaled for the only time I've seen. And I think it's because Arizona State was so jacked up and, like I said, the more excited team. I think they were very aggressive in blitzing off the edges. I think they made quarterback Will Hammond have some indecision at the line of scrimmage pre-snap and also in his RPO game. I don't anticipate that being a problem for Baron Morton, a senior who's been in so many big games, both at home and on the road. But also, Levitt did a great job of extending plays, and Jordan Tyson, their star receiver, both those guys were heroes on those days. Levitt took some big hits and still was able to deliver the ball accurately and downfield. And Arizona State just really, took advantage of like every little part or aspect they could that Texas Tech gave them. Even when Tech took a lead late with, I think, like 2 minutes left, they were able to march the ball down the field against Tech's vaunted defense, and deservedly so, because of some of those plays. So, I mean, Arizona State definitely deserved, that victory, but also I think Texas Tech received a huge wake-up call on that day.
What do you see with this BYU team coming into Lubbock, and what are some of the things that make Tech fans maybe a little bit nervous about this Cougar team who comes in?
Physicality. This is a team that I've been nervous about really since the season kicked off. When I looked at the schedule, looked at Texas Tech, y'all mentioned the dominance, in the trenches. I was worried about Utah, but after that it was like, well, dang, I thought that was going to be – them and BYU would be the two most physical teams. Everybody talks about Utah's number one offensive line, and quite honestly, if you watch the game, it really wasn't a problem or even a contest against Tech's defensive front. But I looked at BYU, was watching some of their games, as much as I could, and I was like, they have the size and physicality to match up. And this might be the only team in the Big 12 who I could really see that on both sides of the ball. So that's a problem. Bear, too. I'm honestly excited to see him in person Saturday. A freshman with that kind of physicality, I'm not comparing him to like having that talent level, but in terms of like the style of Tim Tebow, the straight ahead between the tackles running, but still being able to come up with big plays in the passing game off of that when teams really, sell out to stop the running game. LJ's a good running back. He was coming into Tech back in the day. I talked to him, really cool young man. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. But I, interviewed him several times in the recruiting process. Really cool dude from the same area that I grew up in. So a lot of similarities in terms of like things and people and coaches we know. So if assuming he's going to play, which it looks like he will, that's a problem for Texas Tech. And then both these teams are fourth quarter teams because of their physicality. They just chopping at the tree, just beat teams up, and finally even prideful teams just kind of, I don't want to say give up, but kind of they start diving at feet and stuff, you know what I mean? They start maybe, running around blocks a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see if, and maybe neither team will, but which team gives first in that fourth quarter battle, because these are the two best fourth quarter teams in the Big 12 to me.
Well, this is going to be an interesting one. By the way, the GoFundMe now for I think I'm looking at it right now is $157,000. Somebody put in a $25,000 donation today. By the way.
Just incredible.
It's phenomenal to watch people. And you know what? It's just going to keep growing. Like half of the news stories here in the state of Utah, or all the news websites have it up, and people, they know, and then they respond again. And so it's awesome to see this stuff come together, and we're really excited to see how this game works out, too. It's something cool that the fan bases come together on, too, and people do realize, just like you said, sports are important, but this is the part of sports that we love, is people coming together like this. Jarret Johnson covers Texas Tech football for Inside the Red Raiders. Jarret, thanks for coming on, man. We'll definitely have to have you on again. We appreciate you being a part of the program, man.
Hey, anytime. I really appreciate y'all having me on.
There you go, Jarret Johnson,
Thanks, Jarret.
everybody.
Good info.
It's really cool, man. You think about what that Texas Tech program is doing. They're doing what I think that everybody in this conference needs to follow. BYU's doing it to an extent. You're seeing the big programs going, we're not going to be left behind with the new world of college football. You know what I mean? And Texas Tech is leading out on the football side of things, really on a lot of the sports, right? Cody Campbell's on with DJ and PK today. And it's one thing to have awesome investors. It's another to have the whole fan base go, okay, look, this is our chance here.
They're doing it in all sports. They're doing it in softball.
We give $1 million
They've
to a
got a
softball player.
seven-figure softball
Love
pitcher
it.
at Texas Tech.
And guess what? When those teams respond, then the big conferences that previously had a chokehold on all the good players all the time now have to look over their shoulders and go, we're not getting all the best players. It just has been, places like Texas Tech,
the Alabamas and the Georgias, and they're nervous.
They should be. They should be. And I hope that they underestimate the Big 12 and teams like Texas Tech and BYU and Utah going forward, because they'll get them. It's happened before. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We got more to go. We're here at the warehouse. We're going to have Clayton on in about 5 minutes here. He's going to give us some more deals going on here. So stay here. 97.5 BKSL Sports Zone.